from last year's defense at this point last year?
Well, we're stronger physically, number one, than we were a year ago. We're faster. We have some players that have at least 1 year's experience underneath them, and some that have two playing time-wise. So all those reasons are important, and of our, that we're better. And so.
After that game, you moved Kafusi from defensive end into the linebacking spot. You inserted CJ into the starting lineup. Those guys, was that just a direct result of how you were against the run at that time?
Yeah, and just performance overall. I mean, we were looking for guys to find ways to get our players on the field that we had, and it was the best thing we could do at the time. And that's why that happened.
What have they done especially for your run defense?
Well, we're just, we're bigger and stronger physically, a lot more comfortable with our assignments, working with the D linemen in front of them in regards to our linebackers. And Coach Tormey's been a good mentor for those two young guys, in particular CJ and Sakope, because they are just in their second year playing-wise, and he's really helped Alex too. So he's been a good mentor to those guys. And then,
Todd Howard also is new up front with the defensive lineman. How's he helped? And coming from UCLA, does that help him at all with these guys?
Well, I think a little bit. He's got some ideas that could help, but he's just done a good job settling the position down. We were always lacking bodies and numbers, and what he has done is he's gotten a lot of guys to get on the field, be consistent, use his techniques, and so we got the ability to play, rotate 4 extra guys in there on top of the 4 starters. So we got a rotation. So, I think that's helping our freshness at times. It's kept us a little fresher overall and not as maybe nicked up at the position because guys aren't taking quite as many reps as they have to. So, it's really settled the position down.
Along those lines, Matt Bach played quite a few snaps. I don't know how many, but he had a few snaps against Colorado.
Yeah.
Former walk-on,
yeah.
Not the biggest guy in the world. Is that kind of the illustration of that?
It is, and Matt is a hard worker. He's tough. He's really working himself into helping this football team, which has been great to see. His work ethic off the field is really, really good, or in the weight room, and so. He's a redshirt sophomore that's walked on here, and I think, he's friends with Clay Thompson, as was part of the issue why he came up here. But he's doing a good job, and he's getting stronger. And he's a guy that you can see in a year down the road, a year from now, he puts on another 10, 15 pounds, and the year after that, same is true. He could give us a lot of quality play, maybe even a D-tackle at times. But he plays with some physical strength, and he does some good things at the point of attack in the run game.
Paul, obviously it's always easier to study offensive line play on film and stuff. Matt Getz is, speaking of undersized guys, a little on the undersized, but when I saw several plays, he looked real athletic. How did he grade out? How did he look?
Well, considering it was his first career game starting, he really did a fine job when you look in that context. And Matt's a solid 6'4" to 6'5" kid, 6'4", he's 280 pounds. He definitely can use the weight room to improve, and as he does that in our program, he's going to really be a fine player. That would be a limitation for him right now, is just the overall strength. But he is very athletic. He just falls into things naturally. He's got very good balance. He's on his feet. He's very consistent snapping the ball, so was very impressed with his first game.
Is he, you consider him the number one guy indefinitely, or does it depend on Andrew's health?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's before our eyes. He's earning playing time as we speak, and more of it. And as long as he keeps developing and plays well, then he's going to get an opportunity to continue to play.
His starting job to lose at this point?
We'll see. I mean, Andrew's got to be 100%, and he's not. And he's getting better. So hopefully they both develop, and that just gives us, two guys that can help us, be successful. And that's the goal, obviously, throughout the team in all the positions.
Expect Matt to start again Saturday?
At this point, I'd say yes, yeah.
see this on Brooks and Corper?
Yeah, Adam's progressing back from his knee sprain, but he's definitely out this week, hoping that we can maybe get him some practice time next week, so that's where he's at. Brooks is questionable right now, so he's still got a shoulder sprain.
Hi, Coach. Baxter Holmes with the LA Times here. I'm working on a feature about Marshall, and I just had some questions for you. When Jeff went down, what did you expect from Marshall, and what did you talk to him about, either the expectations or what you wanted from him, kind of stepping into that role?
Well, Marshall's been here, and he's been in our system, and at the quarterback position, really sell it for all our players. There is, it's one for all type deal. We all gotta have each other's back, and they all gotta perform whoever's in the game. And and like Coach Sturdy said, as we walked out of Idaho State before he was starting because Jeff was sick, he just said, "Hey, you've been preparing for this your whole life, Marshall. Go in and play football." And that's all it was said. And Marshall's ran with it.
How has his play surprised you, or is it something you expected or that you've seen before, especially in the circumstances of just stepping in?
Yeah, I think a little bit has surprised us in some regards, just because he hadn't had the opportunity, to play in a game very much for over basically 2 years, and so
right.
We didn't have an exact answer how he was going to respond. And practice only gives you so much, but he came in, and knowing we got better supporting cast around him, the 10 guys around him are much improved, and then Marshall's much improved, and so bottom line is the operation of our offense has grown a lot, and Marshall is obviously a big part of that, and so.
And how would you say you've seen him since he's been here? How has he changed, not only just as a player but just as a person in general through his time there?
Yeah, it's a good question, because he has changed a lot as a person. He's a guy that's has worked hard. He's always been a great kid, but he's so much more well grounded now and committed. His faith is really strong. His grades have just continually improved each semester that he's been here. He's really matured, and with that maturity off the field has become better on-field maturity. And he's a perfect leader in so many ways. It doesn't matter if he's the starter or the backup. He's the right guy on your team.
Was he the same kind of guy? Because I read stuff from him saying, that this is still Jeff's team, Jeff's won the job, that sort of thing. Was he the kind of guy a few years ago who would be saying that kind of thing?
Probably not. But he's never been a bad kid. He's been a great kid. Like I said, I think you're hearing from a very mature person with great humility, and he and Jeff are good friends, and again, that's Marshall exemplifies a lot like some of our kids that are starting to surface, like Jared Carstetter, and those are the type of players we want to have in our program, and that are starting to lead our program, and I think that those are great examples of young men that got the right kind of mindset.
And last thing, playing. I know at times when he's played previously, the offensive line has been kind of porous. Is that one of the factors that the offense? Because you were talking about the offense around him has kind of picked up. That the offensive line has played better, maybe given him more protection, so he's able to, either gain more confidence or, maybe just be upright more.
Yeah, no, the improvement in our blocking in the run and pass game is greatly improved, which we knew it would be. And the balance of being able to run the ball a little more effectively than we have, has helped our protection, which has obviously helped Marshall.